vendors in the street, taking the word vendors is the correct word.
Yes.
Taking important decisions and steps against those people are not only security ones. This is part of the deal, but there are other sides. You should have the money that you are going to get from your friends in Saudi Arabia or the Americans or the monetary fund. You need to implement a certain vision and to start investments that will provide those people with better job opportunities. It needs someone who would take strong decisions. I have always said here in this program and other programs that our problem has always been that we need a very popular political party and very popular leader to take decisions that are absolutely not popular at all, because difficult decisions need popular leaders, so they are not worried.
Sympathy and
yes,
cooperation
and support.
Yes,
and support. So yeah, I wish that he would be able to fulfill any of the promises, but they are very difficult ones. And as I've been telling you, that the first step is start the security, start stability. I mean, start making sure that you are regaining stability and security. Then, with a good friendship with people like Saudi Arabia, the Americans Monetary Fund, sign the loan that has been delayed for a long time, and the Muslim Brotherhood are the ones who delayed the loan, because once you get the loan, it's a $3.2 billion. It's not much, but as you know, that once you get a loan from the International Monetary Fund, this is a sort of certificate that you are on the right path. You are a good lad.
To attract investments and
the loans, other loans.
Other loans.
And other loans, because no country is going to give you.
But other loans would be beneficial for Egypt?
No, it won't be beneficial in Egypt.
That's
but
what I mean.
Yeah, you are right. But what a choice do you have? If you are broke, you don't have a lot of choices. They say that economics is the sign of choices. So you need to take you need to make a choice. When you have two bad choices, you take the decision. I mean, the lesser of the two evils. So in our case, taking loans is a bad thing, but waiting until you manage without loans is almost impossible. So you need to take loans, but if you are clever enough, you are going to take a loan at good terms, I mean in good terms, and try to employ and invest the loan in good productive projects, well planned, well used. In that case, well, loans will be the lesser of two evils. Yeah. Unless one of their economists have come up with another vision, let's hear.
Yeah, and we should have a plan for the implementation of this loan, or how to spend the $3.2 billion, because if we have this kind of money and then spend it all on the wrong choices, on the wrong people, it will be useless or in vain.
You are right, and that has been the problem in our country for a long time, and a lot of developing countries.
Making the wrong choices and
having no vision, because you raised the point that it's important. Yes, I've been talking to an economist a couple of weeks, Dr. Mustafa Said, and he is an ex-Minister of Economy in Egypt, and he has been telling me a lot about the way and his vision for the Egyptian economy. But I told him, you were once a Minister of Economy, and a lot of other people like Dr. Hazem Iblaw, he is a great economist and he has his own vision, and he has been given the chance to be the Minister of Finance. But once those people come into office, their visions evaporate, and they get distracted with their day-to-day problems. And he assured me, he said, yes, you are right, because 1, 2, 3, 4 economists, it is not enough to have a vision, but people have to support you. The economic, the leadership, political leadership have to give you a lot of support. We need transparency, we need democracy, because once there is democracy, transparency, it means that people are going to be elected freely. It means that the government will have popularity. It means that it is able to take strong decisions and being supported from people. It means that President Morsi and other people will come on air and tell people, everybody, listen to me. I can't make any more promises to make your life any better unless we work very hard unless we have an austere plan, unless we cut down our budget, unless he will be honest and he will tell people the truth, and we need to wait for quite a long time until we harvest the fruits of our effort. But making promises all the time is a dangerous business.
Yeah, I guess President Morsi made enough promises in the past 2 months, I guess, or in the past 2 weeks after being elected as president. So how would you evaluate the performance of the stock market after his election?
I'll tell you, Ahmed, well, you don't have to ask about the stock market, because the stock market will always be a mirror and will be always, extremely badly affected by the status quo, which is quite unstable. Once President Morsi has been elected, well, the stock market rose. Once there is a decision like the one of the parliament, it went down. It lost 9 billion Egyptian pounds in a day. So nobody could talk about a good and prosper stock market without stability. Stability is the name of the game.
So concerning the meeting that President Morsi had with the number of businessmen and different economic and industrial sectors, some of businesses or some of businesses holders thought that, especially in the field of tourism, thought that they would be affected by electing an Islamic president. Does that meeting assure them a bit?
President Morsi has been assuring them, trying to reassure them even before he has become a president, but it is not of, I don't think those people will suffer, at least in the short term, because of the identity of the president. To tell you the truth, I have the feeling, based on modest knowledge, that Muslim Brotherhood will not be a threat to our identity, at least in the short term, for a couple of reasons. Number one, which is quite obvious, the Muslim Brotherhood and their party are quite pragmatic, and they have wing right policies when it comes to economy. When it comes to economy, they are more or less like our previous National Democratic Party. They have the same attitude, and they believe in open markets, and they believe in private properties and everything. So I don't think they will take any decision that people fear when it comes to economy. On the contrary, we may ask them to hold the reins a little bit and to remind them that the National Democratic Party has lost its popularity by insisting, by going too far on implementing free market policies. So I'm not worried about this. So this is one reason. The other reason is Egypt is too deeply rooted country to be affected by one party coming into power. I mean, later maybe in another episode we can discuss in history how many political trends took control of Egypt, like people in the Fatimi period, for example, and they try to change people. They come, they leave, and the Egyptian people, because it seems that in our genetics we have that moderate attitude. It may be affected a little bit, but in the heart you remain that moderate Egyptian.
Okay, still with the Al-Ahram newspaper, the cabinet approves the distribution of 150,000 apartments for citizens throughout the current year. The step comes within the social housing program initiated by the government and aims to build 1 million apartments within 5 years. The caretaking cabinet, headed by Dr. Kamal Ganzouri, approved implementing the conditions set for taking 75 meters apartments. The cabinet also approved the appointment of a head of the Sinai Development Authority and to deploy £10 million for the equipment needed for its offices in both cities of Cairo and Beir al-Abd. And another piece of news, in still with the Al-Ahram newspaper, the cabinet also held another meeting to discuss several reports regarding preparations made by different governorates regarding the holy month of Ramadan. Measures meant to increase the monitoring grocery markets and eliminate the increasing numbers of illegal merchandising activities along with pavements and within major squares were agreed upon, along with the allocation of necessary finance to resume the building of alternate markets previously agreed upon. The meeting also tackled efforts meant to increase security and organize traffic throughout the day during the holy month of Ramadan. So we'll start from the end. Organizing traffic throughout the day during the month of Ramadan. Is that possible?
It will be possible unless they take important decisions once again. Organizing the traffic has always been a problem, and
but in the month of Ramadan is really harder.
it is
really
much
harder than any other day.
It is much harder, yes, that's true, and that's why I was late today. I was late today. But what about the new government? I can see that all the news concentrating about Dr. Kamal Ganzouri taking short-term and sometimes long-term decisions like building houses, like seeing to the problem of street vendors. Well, they are quite crucial issues. It seems that Dr. Kamal Ganzouri is going to stay in power for quite some long time. Have you heard any news about the new Prime Minister?
No, I haven't, to be honest. Well, do you have any news about
No. Well, he is supposed that, he was in hectic negotiations to choose another Prime Minister and a new cabinet, but so far we got distracted by the decision of the Parliament, asking the Parliament to convene, and then we forgot all about the new cabinet, and all what we hear are news leakage that certain people were offered the positions and they said sorry, or they were not offered. They deny being approached in the first place. So far I'm wondering how long would the president take to form another cabinet. In Lebanon it took them almost 6 months. In Iraq it took them almost a year. So do we need another year? I'm not sure.
So would we face a problem in supplies concerning grocery markets in the month of Ramadan?
Well, the government